Yes, and here we are. It's the Thizzle Sticks and Jay Jones back again for another episode of the Two Penny Podcast. How you doing, Mr. Thizzle?
What's up? I'm kind of tired. I had an extra day off today, so been running around with the kids all day, and now I seem to get more tired when I'm not at work
Ooh, you were off all day.
all day.
A little bonus day. What was the reasoning for that?
Uh, no real occasion. We just do. We rotate where we do a Saturday or a Monday off once a month. So this was my 2 day weekend for the month of February.
February. That's right, February.
Ooh,
It's February, and we're down to this weekend is the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl this weekend between the Ninners and the Chiefies,
yeah.
the Swifties and the Niners.
We're not
Battle
allowed to
time.
say the term Super Bowl though, right? That's like
I
big
can.
no nos.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, I think you can't use it in advert. I don't think you can use it to promote your stuff. I don't know the real rules, but we're not big enough to worry about it anyway.
They'll sue us for all of our 2 pennies.
That's right. Our whole 2 pennies. Go ahead and sue the shit out of us, you fucks. I don't care. Um, so who do you got this weekend? Who do
Oh
you
boy.
got?
I sure hope the Chiefs don't win.
Okay, so that's kind of where I'm at too. But I did
Yeah.
see something. Excuse me. That was kind of weird. Um, there's a somebody was talking about the reason that they didn't want the Niners to win is because there's a there's an analyst in sports and social media equality that says, quote, she fears for the landscape of sports equality should the 49ers win this next week because of the whiteness of the 49ers team. The 100% white backfield could possibly overshadow Black History Month with a win, which would be detrimental to the vital equality necessary for the NFL.
Oh, say it ain't so.
I mean, I've heard a lot of reasons why people want or don't want, and conspiracy theories of, it's been predetermined and all this stuff. But I can tell you what, that is the dumbest shit
None of them quite as fucking dumb as that.
I've ever heard. Um, I first of all, I understand there were some things in football that the uh, once the color line was broken by Jackie Robinson in baseball in Major League Baseball, I think that, and then obviously it filtered throughout all sports as it should.
Sure.
Um,
Except hockey so much, but that might be a different reason.
I, I, I don't put that on them not being like. I don't think that they're
Inclusive.
holding people out. You don't see a lot of Hispanics playing hockey either.
Yeah. No, that they're certainly not intentionally doing it.
I mean, I think that if there were great hockey players, I think that's one sport that, in my opinion, that no matter what, if you were freaking pink, they'd be like, be on our team. Speaking of hockey, I'm going to see the Avalanche play the New Jersey Devils tomorrow night,
Ooh,
which
you
is
little
Tuesday
devil.
night.
Yeah.
For those that don't
But
know, we record on Mondays, but I'm excited to go watch them play.
that'd be a great time. I had a
Yeah.
blast watching them play the Stars.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I mean, apparently the center, the All Star center for the Devils, has been injured, is coming back tomorrow night. That's the
Ooh.
word. That's the word in the streets of Jersey, the dirty Jersey,
Everybody's talking.
the dirty Jersey Devils. That's right. Um, also, if you are a Oomph Pod listener, you might have noticed that Mike and I were special guests on the Nailed It podcast this week with the Mr. St. Joe. Um, Shout out to St. Joe for having us on. Actually, it was enjoyable. It was a good time.
Yeah. If you're not a listener, go check it out.
Yeah, that's right. And if you're not, you can go find it. It's called Nailed It with St. Joe. You can go to unfpod, or you can find it on Spotify, Apple, wherever you want. But it's a good time. So thanks to St. Joe for having us out. And excuse me, back to this equality thing
Yeah.
for the Super Bowl and Black History Month, which um, I think that when you look at sports in general, I think it's funny that more people, I know they look at it, but if you really want to get behind the whiteness of the NFL, look no further than the front offices. You want to talk about a good old glazed white powdered donut, part of the organizations. Look at the owners,
Yeah, I think
and
that's most sporting
exactly.
deals
So
too.
no need to go and bash on these players because as the way that sports rolls these days, and this is not a racist thing in my opinion, and somebody's feel free to tell me if they think it's different. Obviously, this analyst would, but I think it's more about it would be more leaning towards some wild equality or in the NFL, seeing that Christian McCaffrey is a Caucasian running back when the majority of running backs in the NFL are not Caucasian. Um, and that's, not his fault or anybody's fault. That is just what it is. He's also the son of legendary Ed McCaffrey.
Eddie Mack.
Eddie Mack, baby, who used to cut the toes out of his shoes so cause he thought he'd be faster. Um,
Ed
Eddie Mack.
McCaffrey, spicy mustard for those on the front range.
Oh yeah, baby, the I-25 corridor in the box state. Ain't nothing wrong with a little Eddie Mack mustard. It's delish.
Well, and like when you really, whoever wrote that really is not a football fan because you say all white backfield, which is like when you think about it, there's really not a lot of fullbacks nowadays, even though the 49ers do have a fullback, but what, 90-95% of the time they're not using a fullback.
Yeah,
So a backfield means two players, a quarterback and a running back.
true.
So sorry to hurt everybody's feelings, but uh,
Yeah, I mean it's
that's not a big deal.
I don't think that it is. I just found it was I don't know if the word is I don't even think it's ironic. I think it's just hypocritical or
It's just over the top, somebody reaching
hyper
to
critical. Somebody reaching for the
be relevant and make a
sensationalism of
stupid
something.
point. Yeah. And
And
frankly, Trump's not in office right now, so that could not even be put into the NFL script because racism disappears when different people get elected in the office.
yeah, apparently that if Biden's in there, I mean I don't want to turn this into a debate, but
That's just what I hear.
I wouldn't know. I really find it hard to believe. And see, I like Taylor Swift as an artist, but I think, if she is truly backing Joe Biden right now, I know that back in 2020 she did, and that's fine, whatever. People free to choose what they want. That's the wonderful thing about this country, I guess, is their freedom to choose. Um, but I just don't know how anybody sits there and says, yeah, this aging man who is losing some of his better facilities and ability to do things. And I mean, he has a hard time, not all the time, but most of the time, he has a hard time even forming full sentences. And some might say, well, that doesn't matter. Okay. Well, then what does it matter that Donald Trump throws out some pretty crazy full sentences all the time?
Yeah.
You, I don't know. It's kind of like Texas picking and choosing this. They're like, oh, we're going to put up some fence, some razor wire, and we're going to keep all these Mexicans out. And them getting the governors of other states to say it. Well, you know what, Texas? I'm from Texas, so I can say this in my opinion. You're fucking stupid. And the reason you're stupid, I understand that I don't believe that the federal government is doing their part to uphold and secure our borders. I do buy into that. But I also believe that when the federal government tells you as a state that you signed into to let them tell you to govern you, to be a supreme court and law over the people, law of the land as it should be, you can't pick and choose which rules you want to follow. You can't say, well, we're not going to back you on this, but oh, yeah, when you tell us that people can't do abortions, we're with you. Or, I mean, it's just, it's ignorance at its best, in my opinion. Um, I agree with the border needs to be secured for a lot of reasons, but I don't believe that Texas has the right to, we can do what we want. It's our state. Well, if it's your state, secede from this great union and see how that fares for you. It's not going to work out the way you wanted it to.
Well, I believe aren't isn't Texas the only state that legally can succeed if
No, people like to say, because we were a nation at one time. We were the great country of Texas. I went to school down there. I remember going to history and I'm saying that's why we can fly our flags at the same height as the United States flag. You're stupid. It's not. That's not why. It's there. You can't have it the way you want it and have the rest of the country do it the way that the Supreme Court says. It just doesn't work that way. And I mean, if they wanted to secede, they'd still have to go through all the secession.
no,
Um,
yeah, it'd have to be
and
democratically decided.
and even if it was, let's say every Texan decided we were going to be a country. We're going to be our own nation. We are going to have our own government, our own military, everything. Texas is a very large state. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of power with the oil and everything that's owned there. But if Mexico wanted to take over Texas with their cartels, they could do it if they had no help from the United States. If the United States says, F you, Texas, we're going to keep you, there's nothing that Texas could do. They could fight, but they would be destroyed. That's just the simple fact of it. The United States military is ridiculous, and you wouldn't have it if Texas succeeded. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And I don't know if Texas could survive on its own. I
Yeah, I
really
don't
don't.
know. Well, there like you'd have to consider that there would be so much rearranging because there would be, whatever percentage of people that are like, I don't want to do that, and they would move out of Texas. And then you'd have a
Currency.
percentage of people outside of Texas that are like, I want to be a part of that, and they would be moving into Texas. And so it'd be this crazy flip flop of everything, and then all of a sudden you'd need a passport to get in and out of Texas, and I don't
Maybe,
know.
maybe not.
It would
Depends.
be a mess for sure.
It's just it's a wild thing to think about. And a lot of my friends down there are all about Texas seceding. They're
Don't
like,
tread on me.
let's fucking leave this country. We'll be the greatest country in the world. Are you going to still support Donald Trump if he's president of the United States that you don't want to be part of? Are you, because I mean, in Texas, Donald Trump is God.
Well, there's a lot of electoral votes, Jay, and then
No,
he
they would
probably
take the
wouldn't.
electoral votes and they would split amongst other states.
Well, without Texas, he probably wouldn't get elected again.
Possibly.
That's a
I,
lot of votes.
there's a lot of votes down there. But there's a lot of stuff in Texas, too, that it's not like the United States would lose out, or I mean, wouldn't lose out on anything because they would. There's a lot that Texas offers. I mean, the majority of the oil that this country supposedly has is obviously the Permian Basin, and a lot of it's in Texas.
Sure.
Um, a lot of a lot of people, a lot of wealthy people down there. Nobody gets away from federal taxes. They can have no state taxes, but you're going to pay them federal taxes, and that's a lot of money the United States makes off Texans.
For sure.
And I am not a political expert. Let me go ahead and preface all of this with that. Um, this is all just bullshit and nonsense that I talk about. But I laugh when my friends talk about how great Texas is and how grand it is. And I am born and raised there, left, came back, left again. And, you know, I'm just fine not being in Texas.
There's still time to come back, man.
Nah, I will never in my life ever live in Texas again. I will visit if I have to. but that's it. I'm not ever going to move to that state again. It is the land of shitty dreams and false promises and bullshit in my world. So I'm out. And Texas is better for it too. They don't want me.
it's it's mutually beneficial.
Yeah, fuck them, and they can say fuck you to me. Doesn't bother me. But it's I don't know, Texas is just wild. It's just the wild, wild west. You guys free carrying guns everywhere and killing women if they're trying. I mean, I don't know what you guys are killing women for trying to have abortions. Um,
We are.
that's not true, but I said it, so it's true. It's
I don't even
my.
know what that would mean exactly.
I mean, like if a woman went down to the clinic to try to get a abortion, somebody'd be there and just cut her head off.
Oh, well, I guess that'll teach her, huh?
That'll learn her up real quick. Jesus, that's what they need down there. Some real Jesus and
Supposedly they got it.
nah
Mega churches.
fake
Let's
mega
get
church.
into that.
Joel Osteen. You want to
Yeah.
get into Joel Osteen? I like that guy. What a great motivational speaker he is.
Yeah.
He is a he's got his I mean, tell me that guy ain't making some money. He's got podcasts, he's got a YouTube channel,
He's got
um
bodyguards and a
he's got a
probably
big house.
private jet.
He's got $1 billion.
He
And guess
owns
what? He doesn't have to pay no taxes
yeah,
because he's a church.
the old stadium, the Houston Rockets stadium to have his services in.
The Astro Dome is now
Yeah.
Jesus Dome or Joel Dome. Uh,
Joel's World.
Joel's World. That's right. The one of the wonders of the world down there. Um,
Praise.
God, hallelujah, amen. Um, yeah, Joel Osteen. What a joke. I mean, I'm all for him. He's a good motivational speaker, but he's nothing more than a snake oil salesman. He's a car salesman wearing a nice suit and talking about God instead of V8s, which don't exist anymore, by the way. That's gas powered. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just this whole country, like, what's weird is that the older I get, and I did have a birthday recently, and I sent Mike a song today that's kind of talking about, what's after death or after the life of when you die, if there is anything and all this stuff. So I mean, it's weird to say, but the truth is, I've been thinking quite a lot, um, in the last several months about the end.
Sure.
Not about like, for you weirdos out there, don't worry, I'm not freaking, I'm not biting the hammer.
Un- un- you're not having unalive thoughts.
No, I'm not trying to unlive myself. Um, but the older I get, the older my daughter gets, the older my friends get and their kids, and I see people that, you know, their bodies and their thoughts and the way they are just start to deteriorate. And I start looking at things and thinking, God damn kids, or I think like, what the fuck is wrong with this generation? Or I know I'm getting older. And I mean, if the fucking gray hair and fucking slowing metabolism and beer gut that I don't even drink beer and I have is like not noticed enough. It's just it's odd. So I guess I just don't have that. I don't have that kind of rebellious um, attitude when it comes to like what the government and the states and the military and everything is doing. It just seems a little odd to me. But that's all right. The song I sent you though is good. We don't do music on this podcast anymore, but
Because it's no good.
because it's no good. But that song is good. If anybody ever wants to go listen to it. Um, yeah, this the Stupid Bowl is definitely gonna be a good time this weekend. Do you have any plans? Party plans?
We've talked about having people over because we have the big projector on the back patio, and so we can do a fire in the fire pit and have it going on the projector. So I
Yeah,
think, like if weather looks like it's going to be good, then we'll get that going.
yeah. It's I think that the I don't think I'm gonna have a party. My sister might have some people over. Um, and she does. I might go over there. My brother-in-law makes good drinks, so
Oh,
um, nice to go over and have a cocktail.
I do like drinks.
Um, I made myself a margarita this weekend when I was over there. I was called in for my uncle duties. I went and watched the two nephews and niece at my sister's house this weekend. So that was fun. That's another thing that made me feel old. I mean, watching 13-year olds run around, it's like Jesus,
Saying words you don't understand.
talking, doing weird faces, doing stupid stuff. Yeah, it's yeah, it's a sad day. Sad day. Sad day. Jay's old. Jay's officially old.
You know what's weird is thinking about how old you are, yet still having 40, 50 years left, probably. And that's a long time, too.
I don't have 40, 50 years. That's in the 90s, bud. I'm
80s for
I'm not
you. You are not 50. Shut up.
I am 48, and if
Okay.
I live another 40, that's 88.
Correct.
If I live another 50, 98. Come on now.
How, well, for me, 50, like, would put me right in that
I
same
don't even
spot.
I don't even here's the thing. I don't want to be that old.
You do, like, you don't, but you do, but you don't.
Nah, I don't. I do not. Here's the thing. If I was 90 years old and had all of my, I could think the
Capacities.
same, felt the same, wasn't shitting my pants.
Yeah.
Uh, I, felt good when I woke up, could move around, could eat. Then maybe it'd be all right. But I'm already getting to the point where some of those things aren't working. I wake up in the morning, I'm sore sometimes for no reason. I didn't work out. I didn't go play golf. I didn't do anything. I just wake up and my fucking knee hurts. Or I'm in
Well,
the
you don't have problems with the eating part.
yeah, of course not. I'm fat.
I saw that breakfast sandwich you sent us.
It was delish. But I, in the middle of the day, sometimes I'm like, oh god dang, my back hurts. What the hell? I didn't do anything.
Youch.
And maybe that's just a call to work out. Maybe I need to be physically fit again. Maybe I need to get back on that J train
Yeah,
and
you can be sore from not working out, or you can be sore from working out.
get
So I
back to
guess
peak performance. This shirt is pretty badass, by the way.
that is a good shirt.
This hoodie. I'm a fan of the hoodies. What kind of shirt you wearing today? I see
It's
guns.
no, it's from my gym. It says perseverance.
Perseverance. All right. Um, that's a good thing. Perseverance. Persevering. It's something I'm good at.
And then it says never give up. So
Oh yeah, man. You can never
it
give
kind of
up.
defines it.
Just never give it up. Speaking of never giving it up, what's the kinkiest thing you've ever done sexually?
I
Come on now. Come on.
I have no
Come
idea.
on. Come on.
Why
Tell
don't you
me.
start?
Oh, you want me to start?
Yeah,
I
maybe
peed
it'll
in I
jog my memory.
I peed in a girl's butt.
Wow.
She wanted me to. She opened that thing up like a coffee cup.
Well, there we
And I
go.
just let that hot morning piss just fill her up.
Oh, it was even like the stinky brown pee.
Yeah, and of course we had sex the night before, so this shit was fucking nasty.
Yeah, I think we just lost some viewers on that one.
Whatever. Some people talk about golden showers. Mine was a dirty brown shower.
Mm.
That coffee butt,
Oh, you drank a cup of coffee too before.
of course.
Really?
All right, let's see what you got.
I got
Come
nothing
on.
for you.
Come on.
I'm
Give it
not
to me.
I'm not much of a kinky guy, I don't think.
What? You suck toes or anything?
No,
You
that's
shove your toes in
disgusting.
your wife's mouth?
No, toes are
You
for walking and
you ever
socks and shoes.
accidentally lick a booty hole when you were down there near the vag? And like, I'm going to give it a little lick.
What was the eye roll?
Yeah. Come on.
No, can't say I've been there.
Come on. You ever been jerking off and shoved a little finger in your booty just because you're like, I want to try it?
Oh, you didn't say by myself.
I said kinkiest, motherfucker.
Okay. Well, who knows?
You ever done any self asphyxiation, like tied the rope around your neck and like
No, that
jumped off
sounds.
the ladder?
Apparently, people die all the time from that. So,
Yeah, baby. There's a guy when I was in high school. He threw a bag over his head while he was beating his meat. Motherfucker died.
like a
Yes.
plastic bag, like a
Yeah.
grocery store bag.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I never really peed in a girl's butt.
Oh, you didn't.
I made that up for
Oh man,
sensationalism. See how many people go past that when they hear it.
it was so believable.
I know. I'm a professional car salesman. I mean, I do this for a living, make shit up. Oh, it sounds right.
I was gonna say, it just you seem like the kind of guy that would do that.
I don't know how you would do that. I mean, I guess you'd have to be comfortable with a chick because it's hard to pee with a booner. And if
Yeah,
she's like sitting there, like butthole wide open, uh, which I don't know how they do that either. But um, yeah, no thanks. But yeah, Mo, it's what were we talking about?
uh,
Toast? Nope.
toast.
I'm Joe Biden, and thanks for voting for me in 2024.
I'll be back.
I'll be right back. Um, yeah, I don't even know what we were talking about. That's all right. So
Went off the rails a little bit.
that's okay.
Let's
Nobody gives a
reel it
shit.
on back.
Nobody gives a shit. Um, I was going to ask you something. Let me pull it up here. Let me ask you a question. Let me see if I can ask you a question here. Nope, that's not it. I don't care about that. And I don't care about that. Oh, I was going to say this because we've discussed this. Your wife is a self thinker. Let's just say that, right? She
Sure.
she's anti government for vaccination stuff, right?
Yeah, for a lot of stuff
Okay.
in general.
Yeah, I've actually seen her post some anti fuck you type stuff that had nothing to do with vaccination. So she's kind of like you said, like you put it on there about how if the government says do it, we don't do it, or you shouldn't do it, something along those lines.
You should at least question it. I think if it's being
Yeah,
pushed.
she's a self thinker, like I said. Do you know that back in 1910, she couldn't have said she couldn't have said she'd have been thrown in prison for having those thoughts
Because she's a woman or just people in
because
general?
she's a woman.
Yeah, I believe that.
They were not even considered people. They didn't even have the same rights as a man. I was looking at this today, and the reason being I was looking at equality stuff because about like we talked earlier, equality shit was on my brain. But in 1900, women's legal standing was fundamentally governed by their marital status. That was it. They had hardly any rights. A married woman in 1910 had no separate legal identity from that of her husband. She had no rights to control even her biological reproduction. Even conveying information about contraception was illegal and had no right to sue or be sued since she had no separate standing in court. She had no right to own property, no right to own or name her own stuff, or pursue a career or education. Women could not vote, serve on juries, hold public office, and according to the Supreme Court, they were not persons under the 14th Amendment to the Constitution, which guarantees equal protection under the law. So all I'm saying is a few 110 years ago, I would have had your wife prosecuted and thrown in jail. You'd have been wifeless, boy.
No, no.
Yeah.
Well,
And
we
nobody would have
probably
been teaching your children.
at your age, the life expectancy was probably getting pretty shallow at that point anyway. So they probably wouldn't
Ooh.
have given you too much thought.
Hmm. I did look up the life expected or the life span of an average male in 1910.
Okay.
54 years old. 54. That's another 6 years
See,
for me, bud.
you're like in an old folks' home.
I'm almost dead.
You're in an old folks' home at this
I'm
point.
going out. I'm going out on top. It's over. Um,
Yeah, that's crazy.
yeah, it's
Retirement age was like what, 40?
there was no such thing as retirement.
Yeah,
Retirement was something that was brought on in the 1940s by the U.S. government.
good. Is that when they
Good.
started Social Security?
Yeah, that and the suffrage movement kind of helped all that along, but uh, yeah, I mean,
So while we're on the topic of questioning the government,
okay,
what's your thoughts on, say, the moon landing? Do you believe
well, that's a
100%
conspiracy
without a
thing.
doubt?
The government, so NASA, which is stands for is the National Administration of Space
Space and aviation,
and Aviation. I think is
something
that
like
right?
that.
Okay, we could be wrong there. People, get off of us.
That's really not the point of what we're saying.
So, is NASA owned by the U.S. government? I think it is. I'm just asking.
I
I really
believe so.
don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, they wear U.S. flags, and I think that's the problem. I mean, because if not, if there were private entities like Elon Musk's and SpaceX and all that stuff, then maybe. But do I believe that we actually landed on the moon? Um,
Right.
I believe that we have put aircraft on the moon
Okay.
or spacecraft. I'm sorry. Um, However, I do not believe that there was ever a moonwalk or that that was done, especially when I look at how Wi-Fi and bullshit this day has problem working on this planet or from fucking 100 miles away, much less going to the fucking moon
And
and having
supposedly it was
footage that was
broadcast live, right?
broadcast live.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on.
From a camcorder.
And I'm not even a big conspiracy theorist, but that to me, I have a real problem believing that they had the ability to blast that footage signal to where you could even see it at all back when they had problems when they were on the other side of the moon and it was dark and they lost footage and the reporters were like, all right, we've got 13 minutes of dead air time. We won't have any connection to the astronauts on the moon. I just all of it was just too. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was
And
just too
why has
convenient.
nobody else ever done it since?
Right. Well, Elon Musk could probably figure it out now with his rockets that actually like flip onto their feet.
Yeah, I mean,
But
if why all of a sudden just because the United States went there first, did Russia, who had more advanced space exploration or satellites and stuff, not go there? Why did they not put some cosmos on the moon's surface?
well, I think that's what it was all about. It was
The
beating them in
race.
the space race. Yeah.
Yeah, but I just don't. I mean, to me, like, okay, so you beat us. I mean, I didn't see the people from you know Chrysler Corporation saying that when Henry Ford had the first like big dealership. I mean, no, it's like, all right, I'm gonna do it too. McDonald's, I mean, Burger King did not exist because McDonald's did it. It's like, why didn't Russia say, you know what, we're gonna go here too. We're gonna put
Yeah.
our little flag right next to where the USA put their flag.
We're gonna rip your flag off and just toss it in the air
Yeah.
and stick ours there instead.
And why, with the satellites that we have right now that apparently can go all the way to Mars and to Neptune and
Yeah.
Uranus, speaking of tasty dishes, and Pluto, which I guess is a star, not even a planet. Now, I don't even know what the fuck changed after we got out of school, but
Yeah. Who the fuck is Pluto?
I, I how with these cameras can we on these satellites not get close enough to where we can see anything on the moon's surface?
Like a flag.
I understand they say the flag could deteriorate or whatever, but there's been a lot of videos and stuff about somebody. Let's see, somebody's texting me. I'm wondering if it's somebody watching the show.
Well,
No, it's not.
supposedly, like, however the surface of the moon works, like, there's no wind or anything, and so like whatever footprints and stuff they would have made would actually still be there, is what I've heard.
yeah, you would be able to see the landing spot. They say that you can because it's dark or whatever, and I don't know. I just find it very, 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 very hard to believe with the amount of exploration that we do in this world. If if we can send people to the bottom of the ocean, which we're trying to do all the time, we're pushing all the boundaries of our abilities underwater. We're pushing our boundaries in the air. We're going to have self-flying drones and stuff. I mean, I can't wait. I'm hoping that I get to see that before I die. What kind of you see cars in accidents? What in the fuck do you think's going to happen when it's already happening? Joe Blow Jr. has a fucking self a flying seat with drones on it, and he
Oh yeah,
takes up and just takes off. And he
they'll
run. I mean, people are going to be running into buildings, power lines. I cannot wait till the National Traffic and Safety Board gets a hold of these drone pilots.
they like have to be self flying, right? We can't trust people to just do that shit
No, you're gonna. I
themselves.
mean, yeah, that's what I would think. But the thing is, then you got to trust some kind of big network of stuff. I mean, it's so far fetched. I would love it because I totally would like to have a. If I could jump in a drone and not have to worry about traffic and just pop up and fly to Vermont and see my folks on the
You go
weekend and take
200 miles an hour wherever you go.
yeah, well, you wouldn't be able to go that fast, God. But I mean, there's planes that don't go that fast, like, um, but it's it would still be easier than driving in traffic, and I mean, but who is going to control those lines of travel? And I mean,
What
you
like
got air traffic control. They're not going to be able. I mean, because I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff there.
the only thing I can think is lots and lots of computers, like how, Tesla has their self-driving stuff and it's just sensors all over the thing, and basically it'd have to be communicating with anything within like a mile radius of you just to
Yeah.
make sure that none of your paths cross. But I'm sure, it'll
Oh,
get fucked up once in
dude.
a while. You'll have
Wait
some
till the first. I mean, you think there's some gruesome car accidents?
oh yeah, yeah.
Wait till fucking asshole Johnson takes off in his drone that he's like, oh, it says I got 21 miles of flying that I can do, and I've got, you know, I get up in the air. This motherfucker takes it up to 180 feet, and he's whipping along at max speed, and it's a little cooler outside, and the battery's actually going lower than it's supposed to, and this fucker plummets out of the air at 150, 180 feet right onto a fucking playground.
Or just gonna be used to seeing like big red clouds explode in the sky, like
Just eviscerates like all these kids. Boom. I don't know. I don't think. I mean, I want that. I want to be able to fly. I love the flying and scuba diving and all that stuff. I love it. But I don't know if I trust anybody when it comes to stuff like that. Like I would trust myself, which might be stupid, but it's I don't
that's
know.
how I feel about driving in Texas in the ice.
Yeah, same here. Driving anywhere. For me, I'm
Yeah,
like, I get on the road, you're taking your life into your own hands,
pretty much.
which you are anyway. That's a given. And I realized that that's what it was probably like when they first started with cars and they were putting on these wagons and these cars are flying by them. That guy
Smacking
was going
horses.
25 miles an hour.
Slow down.
25 miles an hour, God damn it. Somebody call Mr. Hilly and tell him not to drive that fast.
Why I gotta.
These fucking kids. Uh, but yeah, flying cars, hovering cars. I mean, it's all going to happen. But back to the space thing. What do you think?
Oh, I agree. I think it was uh, a made up plot to win the space race
And
because
before
they knew they
people
couldn't do
say,
it.
"Oh, they couldn't do that. It looked too." Motherfuckers, go watch any movie. In Arizona and California, they filmed parts of some Star Wars movies
Yeah,
out in the
looked like a
sand dunes and
different
Glamis.
planet.
And it's yeah, don't put it past any. I mean,
When
it's
the
kind of people
it's
think that we're off the rails and going nuts here, but it's really a very full circle podcast if people think about it. We went from talking about craziness in Texas to conspiracy theories. We talked about Mike's crazy wife. We're back to people being crazy. It's okay.
football. people being
football.
crazy about football.
Yeah, but yeah, no way we did the moon. No way.
I
I
agree.
I ain't believing it. Sorry.
I, there's no hard proof, but I, it just seems so unfathomable.
Yeah, I just think that with the amount of technology and ability to understand, we like seriously, we've landed drones on Mars supposedly,
Yeah,
and
little
their
wheelie guy.
little wheelies and rovers are roaming around the planet of Mars. And now, granted, apparently on Venus we can't get to it because it's actually um, is it
Gas.
Venus or someone is all like yeah, like you said, it's all gas or it's more like vapor than it is anything else. But we have the ability to put a. Why are we not sending these little wheelie drones to the moon?
Yeah.
Why do we not have one crawling around a rover on the moon right now? We have one on Mars. Wouldn't it
What
be quicker and easier to zip one up to the moon? I mean, they're looking at Mars for space exploration and the possibility of other life and maybe the ability to, if this world of ours gives out and can't sustain us, of other places. Wouldn't the moon be a good place to say, let's go build some condos?
Let's go create an atmosphere
We
here.
have a fucking space station. Why can we not build a space dorm or something on the
A
moon?
dome.
Let's biodome.
Yeah.
Let's
Polly Shore.
get Polly Shore up there. But no, in all seriousness, it doesn't make any sense. Like all of a sudden, well, we went. Now, either there's two things. Maybe they did go there. Maybe they saw some shit that's so fucking like that. Maybe they ran into another species and they're so out there and crazy that they just couldn't let the rest of the world know because it would freak us out too much.
We're going to go to the moon. And once we do, we'll never go back.
We're never, ever, ever. We're going to go there one time and get some shitty ass rock samples, and then we're going to come back. And we're going to say one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. So giant, we're never coming back.
Yep.
Do you know how many fucking times we have sent exploration things to the bottom of the ocean?
Not,
Or,
not the true bottom of the ocean.
well, as low as we can go,
Right.
as deep as we can get.
Yeah.
We
Continually.
have drilled in Russia, they drilled cores to the as far into the middle of the earth as they possibly can. The deepest hole in the world is apparently in Russia, where they drilled into the center of the earth. We've done all this and we went to the moon and decided we just didn't want to go back.
It was nice. I saw it. I
It
don't
was
need to
like,
go back.
come on. We're just going to go up there. That's that to me that's kind of like the guy that first time he got his dick sucked went, well, guess I never have to do that again. No, you
Check that off the
motherfuckers.
old bucket list.
You go back. Speaking of which, never too late to give a late birthday gift. Blowjobs are nice. Thank you very much. Um, but yeah, with the moon, come on, man. Praise God, baby. You know dang well if we were on that moon, we'd be there again. And by now, we'd have houses there. By now, the United States, how has the United States, if they were the first ones there, not just said, you know what, this is ours? Clunk.
Right. Freddie Mae and
We
Fannie
take
Mac would
everything.
definitely have a program for that.
Yeah, we take everything. We think we rule the entire, universe.
Cosmos.
We think we're He Man, Skeletor, and all of them. What was that? Battle Cat. Was that his He Man's cat?
I don't know. That was before my time.
I don't remember all the characters of
I know
He Man.
Thundercats was a different show.
Yeah, that's what I call my whiner. Thundercat. Let's look up the characters of He Man and Masters of the Universe. Oh, we had He Man, obviously, Skeletor, Orko. That sounds stupid. We had Tila, Man at Arms. I remember him. He was cool. But yeah, not so many characters. He-Man destroyed most of them. Skeletor was always trying to make something.
I
But
like Skeletor.
yeah, he's pimping. He's also in our video game. Talk about this for equality. Why is He-Man not in our game?
Yeah, just Skeletor. What the fuck?
Yeah, hello, fuck you.
It's
Why
because
do
he's
we
white and
not
blonde.
have little green GI Joe men like the army men and the toys? That would be
Hmm.
badass.
Oh, like as a skin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be cool. Um, anyway, yeah, conspiracy theory shit. Y'all feel free to drop us a line on, if you want to find out. That's kind of interesting. I'm glad you brought that up because I think it's bullshit. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I really don't. I don't believe that, you know, JFK was shot by 7 people or whatever the thing is, or that 5G towers caused COVID. Even though if you talk to Mr. the Keb during February, you will find out them 5G towers are what caused
I,
COVID.
I'm pretty sure it was China.
China. And yeah. Oh, by the way, Shane Gillis, is that his name? The
Yeah,
comedian?
Shane Gillis.
Does the best Trump. The absolute best Trump. If you go watch his show, you will understand. He does the best Trump impersonation. It is fantastic.
I watched his Netflix when we went to Miami.
Yeah, that's he does a Trump in there. He does a little trumping.
Little trumpets.
Little trumpers. I I'm surprised. Usually when Trump was president out in the marina by my house, you would see Trump flags over all the boats.
Yeah.
I don't see any out there anymore. And it's coming back to a feverish pace, but I don't see any anymore. What is his what's his slogan right now? Do you know? I don't pay attention enough, so
Uh,
it's not "Make America Great Again."
I think it is.
Really?
Yeah,
It's that week.
maybe.
Um,
I think the woman who's running against him is Make America Normal again.
Haley, is that her name?
Yeah,
Haley?
Nikki Haley.
Nikki Haley. Okay. Make America Normal again.
Yeah, or
Okay,
something like that.
that's dumb too. I mean, God, these people have. I mean, they have strategists and people that are just built for coming up with shit, and that's the best they got. Make America normal again.
Well, they both beat Joe Biden's. Yeah,
I think his is bring back Roe or something like that. What is Sleepy
For
Joe?
real?
Let's see what Sleepy Joe's slogan is. Um,
I don't think he's got one. It's just Z's. It's zzz.
no, his presidential campaign logos and slogans are they don't have them yet out.
Mm, I guess they'd have to be nominated first.
Um, he is nominated. He's the president.
Well,
He's running. He's not. He doesn't have to be nominated. That's the thing about him.
no, I think the parties can
They
choose not
can, but
to.
they're not. They are all the way
Right.
behind him.
It'd be suicide, but
Oh, you know what? Biden rolls out his new slogan: "Finish the job.
finish him.
Finish her.
It's
Finish him with
Biden
my
like
mouth. Hold on. Glock, glock, glock. 6,000. Sleepy Joe ain't just touching and smelling kids anymore. He's scratching and sniffing on your sister.
come on, man.
Come on, man. That motherfucker's 800 years old, and y'all talking shit about him. Have some respect, okay? Fucking guy's 800 years old. Man, poor bastard. I mean, could you imagine waking up, shitting your pants? Because he probably does. And then he wakes up and he's like, oh, I get to have some oatmeal for breakfast. And he wakes up and he goes, oh, God, I got to get dressed. I got to go get in front of cameras.
Yeah, he eats his presidential prunes for breakfast.
You know that man ain't happy being president. Give that man a break. Now, I will say this he has made a lot of money living a life of a civil servant.
He's done very
And
well for himself, no doubt.
I think it's funny how he is the face of the equality and um, so and so, whatever minority um, groups of the United States. When the truth is, that motherfucker said some real racist shit back when he first started in politics.
Well, it's just hilarious to me that like the solution to racism and whatever people accuse Donald Trump of is get the oldest, whitest guy who's been in politics forever
Yeah, let's.
to
He's
take
going to
his
tell you what
place.
it's like to be a blue collar American. He knows what it's like. The little black boys and girls played with the skin on my arms and my hair on my arm. What are
Tickled my
you?
leg
What are you
hairs.
talking about? You fucking weirdo! Just retire, bud. You got plenty of money. You got your name on the big ticket.
Hang it up.
Hank, yeah, that's right. Just fade off into the sunset. You were the oldest motherfucker to ever be president.
You set the record. Just go
You
home.
won. You won, dude. You beat down Donald Trumpy Trump. But guess what? That old fucker's about to do it to you. This is like the old fights. Like, how many times did people watch Muhammad Ali and, you know, whoever, Joe Brown or whoever the fuck he was fighting all the time? Frazier, Joe
Yeah.
Frazier, Muhammad Ali. It's like the Rumble in the Jungle, the Thriller in Manila. It's like, how many times are we going to watch these two idiots fucking go up against each other?
What'll be really entertaining is if he loses, then runs again in 4 years.
Yes.
What would it be? 90 at that point?
He'll be dead. Um, that's the answer. Well, and before people did it, I don't think Trump is the fucking best guy in the world. I am not a Trumper. I am also not a Bidener, if that's a thing.
By dinner.
Bidener wiener jumper. No. I am in what some people might call an independent. I'm a little bit of a realist, more of a fuck youologist. I don't trust pretty much anyone.
You sound like my wife.
No, uh, I'm different. I leave the house. I'm educated. I have conversations with adults, um, and not just my family or other moms that are at home, or my husband who goes out and makes a wonderful living of minimum wage, like Mike.
Yeah, 9.25.
I heard they gave you a raise to $10, so stop lying, dude. Um,
That was just during COVID when
that's true.
everybody started paying more.
You're back to 875. Don't be trying
Yeah,
to church it up on me.
they dropped it.
Doesn't make you cooler to be at 925.
But I work a
Anyway,
lot of hours, so
lots of hours.
I get that extra $4 overtime.
That's right. We do work a lot of hours in our world. I don't so much, but that's all right.
Me neither. If we're
It's
being totally
let's
honest.
be honest. We're rich and you're poor. Just kidding. We're the wealthiest podcast on the show. Anyway, uh,
That's why the oomph pod won't let us in.
that's right, because we will buy your ass. If we really wanted into the Oomph Pod, all we have to do is buy it. They're for sale. I mean, they're looking for sponsors. I mean, good God, they had a sponsor for Treasure. Find
So they have the stupid history minute, and then they have the 10-minute sponsors.
Yes. How are they going to put that sponsorship on the Stupid History Minute when it's longer than the Stupid History Minute? Your commercial by your sponsor is longer than your show. Keb, it's February. How you going to do that?
How are you gonna pull that rabbit out?
Yeah, pull that moon landing off.
Put a flag in it.
Fuck it. Hey, Keb, hit me up with a text. Tell me how much it costs for me and Mike to buy Oomph Pod. I want to buy Oomph Pod. Um, I'm changing the name too. I don't know what I'll name it, but it's something.
Well, we can work on that.
Yeah, we'll name that. We'll be TBD, the TBD.com, motherfuckers. Um, yeah, two black dicks. That's what TBD stands for. If you didn't know,
I did not.
most don't. They always get it wrong. They're like,
Where,
we're so to be determined. No,
where
idiot.
where are we gonna find those?
Hello, I buy them too.
What?
Yeah, buy some black dick. Wait,
walk
hold
me
on.
walk me through that process.
Wait, does this mean you're into slavery? No, I'm not. Okay, I'm not going to go down
Except
to
for the
St.
dicks.
Augustine in Florida. Except that dick, I'm gonna buy me some dick. You gonna take this dick? Um, yeah, but anyway, I this podcast has jumped all over the realm tonight, and this is what
Yeah.
happens when you have an idiot talking to Mike all night.
And we have no
We have no
no
direction.
pre-planning.
There's nothing. What's funny, we don't even hardly talk about the show before the show, and there is zero fucking script.
I tried not to talk to Jay like all week long until we're on the show
I try not to talk to Mike ever,
because I wouldn't want to spoil it.
even on the show. Is he actually here right now? I don't think so. I think he's like the moon,
Can't see me.
and I'm just trying to land my nuts on his surface.
Something. My surfaces.
Your surfaces, your orifices, and your surfaces. Um,
Anywho,
Anywho, but that's right. It's Super Bowl weekend in the month of February, and I don't have any trips coming up, which I'm actually excited about. I felt like I've just been traveling lately, and I'm tired of it. Even though it was fun, like I said before, shout out to the Beebs. Thanks for having me. Um, him and his lovely family. They had to put up with me for a while, so it's
bunch
nice
of
that they're not.
fart jokes they're not used to.
No, there were no fart jokes really. Just farts. We did do some. We do be farting. And one night at one of the restaurants, it was kind of funny that me and Brandon were sitting on. I'm sorry, me and the Beebs were sitting on one side of the table, and his wife and two children were on the other side. Just so happened that the chair that Beebs was in, when he would lean one way or the other, it would go. It sounded like somebody farting,
Yeah.
muffled farts. Well, he kept doing it and he thought it was funny, and we're all laughing, of course. Then we look over to the table across the way and they're looking and they're laughing because they think it's real. And so I start looking and I'm like, wafting my nose, like, oh, this motherfucker stinky. And so, yeah, Beebs had a fart chair and he was taking full advantage of it.
As you should.
I agree. There do be some tooting. I also, this last weekend, while I was at my sister's house, I hooked up a bidet for her. I installed another bidet. I am the world's probably, or at least the United States,
Bidet master.
biggest bidet master. Yeah. I am all about blowing water up people's buttholes.
Well, I'm definitely on board. I need to try that out because it just sounds too perfect.
It is. And it's perfect for little kids, and you're trying to find ways to be natural. Do you really want, I mean, what kind of toilet paper do you guys use, Mike?
Costco.
Guess what?
Kirkland's signature.
It's got dyes and it's got freaking chemicals and stuff that's been used to make it. And your
Um,
wife is letting you guys wipe it all over your intricate little buttholes,
my surfaces.
your surfaces. But if you get yourself a nice tushy,
No more.
tushy.com, thank you for sponsoring us, you too will cut down your toilet paper consumption. You will cut down the sewer usage. You will cut down the sewer blockage. And you will be a cleaner butt, a healthier butt. You'll
Happy
feel
butt.
better. Yeah, you'll be refreshed in ways that you never thought possible. Bidets are life changing because think about how good a great poop is. Imagine topping that great poop off with a great washing. And all you got to do is if you don't buy the dryer, because now they have them where you put batteries in there and it'll heated dry like a blow dryer your butthole when it's done.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
You spray the water, you turn on the heater. I mean, or the fan, the heater fan, and dry your bits. Now, the ones I put at my sister's house has a feminine setting and a rear setting. Rear for your butthole, feminine for your feminine
Front hole.
surfaces, your frontal surfaces.
So I guess
It's the best.
so do you have like a towel that you like wipe the water off with, or do you just
Nope.
pull your underwear up?
No, no, no. No, sir. So here's the way. If you want to be a perfect pooper, you do the poop. You do it.
You make
And
it a poop.
then you make it a poop. Okay? You make it a poop. Yeah, you're done. You're done. You're done. You turn on the water. You can adjust the angle of the nozzle. My suggestion is a good at least 30 seconds. You don't want to just blast it and be done. No, you want to let it blast and run a little bit. I like to move the nozzle so that it kind of goes up and back over my butthole. That's right. You can have all the pressure in the world if you want to, but it can kill a
Ooh.
lot if you put too much water pressure in your butthole.
It will make you orgasm sometimes.
I don't know about that. It's made me hard once or twice, but you wash up your butthole, and then what you do is because here's the thing, it cleans up your booty hole, but because guys we have balls in front, we're like the mud flaps for tires in the front, and you have your gooch. What you do is you take a very limited amount of toilet paper, like just a couple things,
Hmm.
and you pat dry.
You dab.
You dab between your legs or your balls or wherever is a little moist, and then you pull up your underpants. Because if not, you're going to get soaked underpants.
Okay.
Um, but instead of sitting there and wiping your ass and irritating your butthole with paper goods made by the U.S. government, probably from the moon dust that they brought back, you can use water. A
Water.
wonderful water. Or wooder, as people in Philadelphia say. Wooder. Wooder. But if you want to use water, blast your butthole. You'll be healthier, cleaner, and you'll feel better. How about your day? And it's good for kids. You know why? Because kids, when they're learning to wipe, they never get it all. But if you tell a kid to sit there and you blast his ass for 30 seconds with water, and then
Water.
he just has to stand up and pat, pat, he's good.
Paddock just yells from across the house,
Come
I'm
and
done
wipe me.
pooping.
Yeah, well, see, that's great. But even if you're a parent, instead of doing the whole, headlock thing or putting the kid between your legs or whatever, getting him to bend over and reaching down
Yeah.
behind him and getting that wet wipe or the toilet paper and wiping his butt and throwing, and I mean, it's just nasty. But if you as a parent could sit there and just brush, you know, bust off his ass with a little bit of water, like a water hose, and then all you got to do is tap dry his nuts and stuff or tell him to do it, then
With no
hey,
mess.
no mess, no poopy drawers. Your wife would love that. How many freaking streaky doo-doo pants does she have to clean a day? A lot.
A
Your
bunch of
wife
them.
hates doo-doo pants. And she gets them from you and the kids because you can't properly clean your butthole. And let me tell you what, it'll even make it better when she's pleasing her man. Because guess what? You're not going to have any remnants of anything.
No stank.
No stank. No dangleberries. Come on. Got to be a nice, clean booty hole, baby. And on that, we're going to go until next week. We'll see you next time. But if you yourself would like to be clean and whispery and nice, just like Jay, hit up tushy.com. Tell them the boys over at the Two Penny sent you. They
And they'll
will
be
give
like,
you
who?
a double half price discount. That's right. Double half price on all Tushy products when you mention the Two Penny. And Mike, you have anything else for these fine folks?
Wrap it up.
Didn't think so. All right. So, for those of you that joined us tonight on YouTube, which is a whole whopping 3 of you, I don't know. So, people apparently chimed in and chapped out. Thanks, but fuck off for not hanging out and talking to us. Um, anyway, I bet Bandit was probably one of those. Bandit probably jumped in. It was
Could be.
nice having him the last 2 weeks. So, shout out to Bandito. Thanks for coming on with us. Bandit, you should have your own podcast. You're like a fucking Swiss Army knife of people. Got a lot of weirdness. Anyway, all right, jumping off here. We'll see you guys next time. Each and every Friday, a new episode comes out. You can join us on Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you can join us right here on the YouTube. and it's pretty simple. The channel is the Two Penny Podcast. Um, but each and every week we try to do something new, something fun. Join us anytime. We appreciate it. Share us, like us. Don't forget to rate us, and we appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Adios. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Adios. Arrivederci.
Shamanama ding dong. Fuckers.